The Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel welcomes you to this edition of the Mayors and Supervisors Weekly Update, brought to you by...
Each week, our community makes history. Each week, you make history. And each week, there's only one source to turn to for the first take on history. You know what that is? Subscribe to the Sentinel right now to discover the history being made in your own backyard.
The Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel. More than just your news, it's your history.
Hey, welcome everyone to this week's edition of the Mayors and Supervisors Update. I'm Chris Carosa, publisher of the Mendon-Honeoye Falls-Lima Sentinel. Each week we bring you the goings-on of the towns and villages that we cover. This week we'll be starting with Mike Falk in the town of Lima. Mike, what's it looking like in Lima?
Hello, Chris. Thanks for hosting us again. These keys were found on Buell Ave. So if you can see the tag here, if these are your keys, come to the town hall and identify the kind of keys that they are, and you can take them home. There are a lot of keys on this ring, a lot. I'm sure someone is missing them. So the nope, not today thing that we've got here that holds the keys, if this is yours, please come and get them. Another orange thing, the town of Lima provides these little half wallet things when you get your hunting license from us. They have become a lot more important now that your hunting license is just printed on regular computer paper coming out of the printer. Yes, we actually have to sit here and cut them up with scissors and hand them to you, but you can take this little case with you and stuff all the pieces in. Remember, you are no longer getting a back tag. No more back tags. All the other pieces of your license are on paper. This kind of helps protect it. We do not charge for these. Coming up in Lima, there's going to be a chicken barbecue fundraiser for the Lima Ambulance on August 24th. It's 2 to 6 p.m. It's going to be in the parking lot over by the post office. If you are interested in a pre-sale ticket, please call Joyce Kusich, 755-7906. Otherwise, there will be some meals available the day of, but they're trying to get a count. So if you can order ahead of time, that's fantastic. And Joyce and the rest of the ambulance folks will be out there being able to get you the tickets. You can also go to the Lima Ambulance website and Venmo them the money for it because we have modernized. There will also be on the same day, but later in the evening, an end of the summer festival at Mark Tubbs Park starting at 6 p.m. This is going to be sponsored by the Rotary. They'll be having the Blacklight Disco again. And some other treats and a bonfire and all that stuff. Mayor Skip Tunis has the lead on this, and if you see him, you can certainly ask him about the details. And then, of course, coming up October 5th is our Pumpkin Festival and Ag Day. That'll be over in Mark Tubbs Park, Saturday, October 5th. They'll be doing the weigh off for the giant pumpkins and measuring all the sunflowers, and the antique farm equipment will be out and all that, even that giant apple slingshot, which was quite a bit of fun last year. So if you have time on October 5th, come on out and participate in the Pumpkin Festival. Moving up to Livingston County, the Livingston County Center for Nursing and Rehabilitation is up on Murray Hill in Mount Morris. They have indeed reopened the Garden of Life adult daycare program. This shut down during COVID, and it's taken quite a while to get it started back up. What this provides is a chance to drop off your senior loved one during the day so that they can be there in a social environment and be cared for while you are at work, and then you pick them up at the end of the day and bring them home. Services that are offered for the Garden of Life folks are rehab services, physical, occupational, and speech therapy. You can schedule dental care, audiology, and ophthalmology examinations. They have on-site lab work available and podiatry services. There's also monitoring and coordinating treatments and medications. therapeutic, social, and recreational activities that they will participate in, and assistance with the activities of daily living. If you are interested in the adult daycare program for your someone you know, you can go ahead and call Rebecca Sica. That's SICA. She is the charge nurse for that. Area code 585-243-7221. Great program, and I am glad that they have brought that back. Attention veterans. So you can get park passes now for free. The New York State parks and the federal parks are not going to be taking your driver's license, even if it says veteran anymore. You actually have to have these park passes. There are 3 different kinds of Veterans Park Pass. So you have the New York State Lifetime Liberty Pass, which is good for state parks, boat launches, etc. There's also a National Park Lifetime Pass, which is good for all of the national parks. There is also an Access Pass for the national parks as well. But in order to qualify for the Access Pass, you actually have to have a service-connected disability rating from the Veterans Administration. So there is going to be a sign-up day down at the Veterans Administration office there in Livingston County, up on Murray Hill. That's 7 Murray Hill Drive in Mount Morris. It will be August 28th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. You can bring your DD-214, or if you have the veterans designation on your New York State driver's license, or a VA ID card to sign up for the New York State Lifetime Liberty Pass or the National Park Pass. If you're going to sign up for the Access Pass as well, you actually have to have your service connection letter with you. And of course, if you cannot locate documents, the folks up there on Murray Hill will be able to assist you because they have access to that system. And lastly, kudos to the Livingston County staff who collected a huge amount of much needed back to school supplies in conjunction with Catholic Charities of Steuben and Livingston. The county workforce in Livingston, of course, Livingston County itself is the largest employer in Livingston County, and the county workforce are the cream of the crop. And this is just exactly the kind of thing that sets them apart from everyone else. So thank you again to the workforce for collecting all that stuff. And that's all I've got, Chris.
All right. Thanks, Mike. Rick, over to you in the village of Honeoye Falls. What's happening there?
Well, Chris, as Mike very nicely said, thank you for hosting us again. It's always a pleasure. As this Sentinel Live issue airs, I hope that we will be looking back upon a nice Festival at the Falls event that would have taken place on Saturday, August 17th. I'm a little bit concerned as we're putting this presentation together, as there is some very rainy weather predicted for Saturday. And I truly hope that for the wonderful team at Howard Hanna Realty and the volunteers that have planned this event, that it's not for naught. The festival has grown immensely, and next year we really hope that more volunteers will step up to work on this great one-day festival. It's only a one-day festival, which really ties us into needing good weather for sure. But we have over 100 vendors. We've got music, some fantastic food, and I'm hoping the event is able to run solidly. I continue to push National Fuel and their contractors to get the sidewalk project, which is mainly just the stamped concrete area on West Main Street, completed. This really remains to be a thorn in our side, quite honestly, and that of the businesses in the area. Again, it's important to note that this is not a village-run project, so we're limited in control, but we're using every means available to get this done. And again, I have to say we're very appreciative of our local businesses and what they've put up with through some of these construction projects this summer. It's been difficult. Along with projects, the East Street Bridge project continues again slowly and is slated to remain in process into or through October of this year. This has become a much bigger project than the New York State DOT originally thought it would be. And I'm glad we're getting things done all at once, but it's taking some time. The concern with this, aside from the negative impact to a specific local business, is the fact that this area is the main thoroughfare in the village and really to the HFL school campus through the village. And with school starting up in the very near future, it's going to be critical to those walking to school to heed the sidewalk closed areas, the warning and the signage. We don't want to see a tragic accident occur. And as I mentioned prior in other Sentinel setups, that we do have some people walking around the signage, walking into the street. We know the East Street Bridge is relatively narrow anyway, so to walk off the sidewalk into traffic is just not a good thing. Also, those driving across the bridge during the construction hours need to take some extra time, extra precautions, as there may be some lane closures or lane narrowing. I'm trying to work very closely with the DOT and the school district to ensure the best safety procedures, but let's keep that in mind as it's going to get very busy in the upcoming weeks. The Honeoye Falls Fire Department was awarded a FEMA Assistance to Firefighter grant of just over $104,000, along with a village contribution of just over $5,200, which was one of the requirements of this grant. The grant funding total is $109,714. This funding will be specifically used to purchase a new washer extractor, which is used to wash fire gear only after emergency response where toxic fumes, chemicals, or soils are evident. It will also be used to purchase a full 20 sets of firefighter gear, which consists of the helmet, the bunker coats, the bunker pants, the response boots, 2 pair of gloves, 2 Nomex hoods, and goggles. We're really excited to have that. This gear will be used to outfit some of the new per diem paid firefighters that we're now utilizing, and will also be given to volunteers who are now utilizing or may have some old equipment that needs to be updated, and certainly for any of the new volunteers that we continue to push for. But this is a great win for Honeoye Falls and the Honeoye Falls Fire Department as we strive to maintain our response service, and is also a great benefit to the community at large, which will not have to pay for this equipment directly through the tax base. Moving on to the county, at our last full Monroe County legislative meeting, the legislature did pass phase 2 of the Monroe County Climate Action Plan. This was part of a 2-phase plan that had an official committee that developed the plan that was approved by a 29-0 vote back in 2020. The committee has worked for almost 4 years to develop phase 1, which were specific actions the county could take to work towards lowering greenhouse gas emissions, striving towards more sustainable practices, etc. Phase 1 was approved in 2023 by a vote of 28-1. Phase 2 was approved by a vote of, I believe, 20-9 at the meeting on Tuesday. Phase 2 is geared towards villages, towns, businesses, and individual residents, and is a template of ideas only. Actions that may be considered only if the municipality, business, or residents want to take part. There is nothing mandated. There are no loss of home rule control or zoning infringements to our towns or villages. It's truly an ambitious set of ideas, but something that can be used if the municipality, business, or individual so chooses and wants to be part of this plan. The legislature also passed what is expected to be the final plan to utilize the remaining ARPA funds awarded to the County of Monroe. And I was proud to support that. This was money that we wanted to ensure went to our suburban towns and villages as to make sure that they were not left out of these awards as well. There will be $6 million available to our municipalities to request for senior citizen programs and or facilities related to senior citizens, programs supporting our youth, and also some of the veterans programs. More detail will be put together that I will be forwarding to our supervisors, mayors, etc. But we're very happy to have that completed, and we wanted to make sure, as I said, that some of these funds were specifically designated to our towns and villages as a certain, certainly a good portion of the money that was awarded has actually benefited a lot of the city of Rochester areas that we represent, and some of the larger, closer to, city programs, if you will. We wanted to make sure that these funds were going to benefit all of our towns and villages across the county. So with that, thanks, Chris, for the opportunity. It's great to see everyone as always.
Thank you, Rick. Thank you, Rick. Okay, let's see. Behind the curtain, we have Steve. Steve appears magically and is ready to tell us everything that's going on in the town of Henrietta as soon as he unmutes himself. Steve, go ahead.
I won't tell you everything because you don't have enough time. School tax collection begins in September. If you haven't received your school tax bill by September 6th, please contact the town clerks at townclerk@henrietta.org or 359-7035 to request a duplicate bill at no charge. But don't call before then, because again, the mail service might just take a little bit of time to get there. The deadline for full payment is Tuesday, October 1st. There is also a grace period through October 31st, but you will be charged a 2% interest charge on top of the normal payment. If you wish to pay through the installment plan, you must make your first installment payment on or before Monday, September 16th. If you miss that deadline, you will not be allowed to participate in the installment plan and will have to pay in full. I'll note the town doesn't make the rules. I'm just letting you know what they are. If you make your first installment payment by Monday, September 16th, then your second payment is due October 15th and your third is due November 15th. You can pay with check or money order in person or by mail. Make payable to the receiver of taxes, Henrietta. Always include your payment stub with your payment, even when paying in person. There is also an online payment option through monroecounty.gov. Friday, August 23rd is our movie night in the park. It's located on the lawn behind the recreation center. The party starts at 7 p.m. with children's entertainment, a bouncy house and other inflatables, lawn games, and more. Snack food and ice cream will be available for purchase. The movie, which begins at dusk, is Kung Fu Panda 4. We are working with Senator Jeremy Cooney to try to get the repair schedule for West Henrietta Road moved up on the New York State DOT schedule, since currently the soonest repairs would be made are 2026 or 27, which is much too far away based on the condition of the road. Anyone who drives this road knows what I'm talking about. What I'm asking is, if your vehicle was damaged while driving on West Henrietta Road, or you're just frustrated with the poor conditions of the road, please send me a letter at supervisor@henrietta.org with the subject West Henrietta Road. We're going to collect all those and present them as a packet to the New York State DOT to try to get them to move. I know the other town supervisors feel this pain. It's frustrating because in our town, by far, the roads in the worst condition are all state roads, and we have no ability to fix them. And we have to educate our residents on that, because they get mad at us, and it's like we're just as mad. The The Tinker Harvest Festival is scheduled for September 21st from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. So please save the date for music, honey harvesting, cider pressing, and Tinker Homestead Open House and more. We had to downscale and rebid the building for the spray park, which delayed the start of construction, but it has begun. You'll see just south of the main playground in Veterans Memorial Park, you'll see the large circle for the pad, as well as the rectangle area to the north of that where the building's going to be. Next up, you'll see the trenches for the utilities coming in. You'll see the manholes are already sitting there waiting to be installed. So we'll have that done this fall. Obviously, I don't think anyone's going to want to use the spray park in October-ish when the work should be complete. But yeah, if somebody wants to freeze themselves, we'll let them. But this way it'll be ready to go first thing when it gets hot in February. We have a lot of other projects going around. The newsletter is going to the printer today, so hopefully you will see it sometime in the next week, hopefully before the end of August, since it has information for the beginning of September. So lot of updates on all the various projects we've been working on in town, including the golf course, the spray park, Good Shepherd Church, the town court, which is finally open. A lot of updates on the project. So keep an eye out for that in your mailbox. And that's it.
All right. Thanks, Steve. Mike, Rick, you have anything more to add? Nothing? Well, thank you all for being here. Thank you all for watching. Remember, this program airs every Sunday at 1 o'clock. Just join our Facebook page or subscribe to our YouTube channel, and those platforms will notify you when the show begins to air. That's all for this week. Oh, yes, of course, you can always read the transcript in next week's paper. I guess that is why I'm doing this, right? To promote the paper. So, all right, we'll see you all next week. Bye-bye for now.
Go
Bye-bye.
Bills.
Yeah.
Imagine yourself communicating with a difference. Pan-Dimensional Solutions helps you do this. Whether live spectator events, taped broadcasts, or real-time audience-engaging programs, you can benefit immediately from the tools Pan-Dimensional Solutions will share with you. Do you want to make a difference? Contact us at pandimensional.com.